भीम जी, कमाल की परफॉर्मेंस नीरज के जरिए, क्या आपको संदेश देना है?
मैं यही संदेश देता हूँ, बेटा ऐसे ही देश के लिए बहुत ही मेहनत करता रहो और देश के लिए मेडल लाता रहो।
अच्छा भीम जी, एक सवाल और, हमेशा स्वर्ण पदक की उम्मीद रहती है, सिल्वर भी, लेकिन उन्होंने अपना सीजन का बेस्ट दिया इसमें।
उसने अपनी मेहनत में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ रखी थी और अब उसने अपना सीजन का पर्सनल बेस्ट दिया है, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है।
अच्छा, एक मेरा आखिरी सवाल और आपसे, नीरज जब यहाँ आएंगे सबका कहना है कि पानीपत का शेर उसी तरीके से स्वागत किया जाएगा, क्या कहेंगे?
अभी बैठ के प्लानिंग करेंगे, तो 1-2 दिन में सारी प्लानिंग करेंगे भी कैसे सेलिब्रेट करना है।
Well, Ayushman, you just heard Mr. Bheem Chopra, who's uncle of Neeraj Chopra. They say it's obvious because the kind of feat Neeraj has achieved, he has everything in his kitty, from being a world champion, being a gold medalist at Olympics, he's the Asian champion, he has everything. Today's performance by the Pakistani counterpart was also quite unexpected because crossing that 90 mark in Olympics has never happened before. In fact, this is the Olympics best which Nadeem has actually thrown, but the kind of performance Neeraj has actually portrayed today shows the mettle of Neeraj Chopra in Olympics, because what happens after any player throws this kind of a javelin or sets this kind of a record, it's usually becomes somewhat creates headache. But still, Neeraj Chopra tried to actually clear all those blockades and still managing to clinch silver and throwing that beautiful javelin, getting to that 89.49 meters mark is still quite unexceptional. Season's best, Neeraj Chopra's best, though not Neeraj Chopra's best till date. But the celebrations are not stopping here. The fever is high because the people here in the village of Neeraj Chopra says the performance which has been portrayed by Neeraj is somewhat a testament of how this player, this boy from Panipat is consistent with his performance. All the senior of the villages are also here. क्या कहेंगे नीरज की आज की पारी के लिए?
अरे ऐसे खेल लगा।
अच्छा बाबू जी, क्या कहेंगे नीरज की पारी के लिए? बहुत ही अच्छा खेला है नीरज आज।
बहुत अच्छा किया, बहुत अच्छा किया।
सिल्वर पदक से खुश हैं?
खुश हैं, उसके रिकॉर्ड तोड़ने से खुश हैं।
Well, see Ayushman, you can see because you know what happens in these sorts of matches. It's an explosive sport. You need a lot of energy. From the first round,
Yash, I'll come back to you. Please keep tracking the celebrations taking place in Panipat. I'm also joined by Shivani Gupta on the broadcast. Shivani, a bittersweet result, would you say, because there were 4 fouls, 2 throws, out of which 1 throw was 89.45, not his best ever, his season's best, of course. But ever since Arshad Nadeem hit that 92.97, was it written on the wall that silver medal was coming to India and the golden hope died right there?
Well, that was a monstrous throw by Nadeem Arshad. There's no denying that. To better the Olympic record by over 2 meters is quite a dramatic performance. So kudos to him. He actually managed to cross 90 meters twice today. And one was close to 92 meters. So kudos to him. He was really ahead of the pack and did extremely well. And I think for Neeraj, what was really important is that after his first throw was a foul, and Nadeem managed that near 93-meter mark, throw. It was very important for Neeraj to get onto the board. So thankfully, Neeraj's second throw was a green throw, and it was an 89.45, which is his season's best. He threw his season's best of 89.34 in the qualifiers, and he was head and shoulders above the others. This one, he could improve it only a little bit, but he obviously needed to not just cross the 90-meter mark, make his personal best, but also break what was the previous Olympic record to cut anywhere close to Nadeem Arshad. The good thing is that, he managed to get onto the board with his very second throw. Had he not managed that, the pressure would have been extremely high. And with that throw, he kind of cemented his place just behind Arshad. So that was also a good thing that happened, because the kind of pressure that could have mounted on Neeraj Chopra had he not put himself on the mark or the top on the podium position, then things could have gone awry. And I don't think he would be very satisfied with his performance right now because he didn't quite have a lot of successful throws. He tried his hardest after that second successful throw. He didn't quite have successful throws. And, that is not the kind of performance that he would like to give. He would have liked to better that 89.45, maybe with one more successful throw. And it wasn't to be. But you saw just how much he wanted it, isn't it? You saw it written on his face. He was gung ho. He really wanted to give his best, and he gave his best on the day. On the day, the Pakistani competitor was clearly better. He didn't look like it after his first throw. He looked like he was just sauntering, even for his second throw. But he clearly had a lot of power to break that Olympic record by over 2 meters. What this does now, Ayushman, is that it makes Neeraj the most decorated Indian Olympian of all time. There are Sushil Kumar and PV Sindhu who have won 2 medals in 2 successive Olympics. Neeraj is the third athlete to do so. There is Manu Bhakar, who became the first Indian athlete to win 2 medals in one single edition, but she has 2 bronzes. Sushil had 1 silver and 1 bronze. Sindhu had 1 silver and 1 bronze. What Neeraj Chopra has done is he has 1 individual gold and 1 individual silver. There is no need to be too disappointed with this result, even though we expected that Neeraj is going to repeat his gold performance. And it just goes on to show that this is how difficult it is, even for a champion like Neeraj Chopra, who nearly hasn't lost anything since Tokyo, to come back and repeat a gold performance. Because just like Neeraj was a surprise last time around in the draw, Nadeem has turned out to be a surprise this time around. You thought the Webbers, the Andersons, the Waldledge, these are the ones that he would need to be careful of. But it was Nadeem, and none of the others really came that close. But for him to be able to keep his focus for 3 years and from gold win a silver again, this is not a feat that many athletes manage to begin with. Let's not forget why Neeraj is so important, because he was the first track and field athlete to win a gold for India or a medal for India in India's 100-year history at the Olympics last time around, and he's repeated that. So to be a medal winner at the Olympics, consecutive Olympics, and to continue to give your best is an enormous feat. So yes, it is bittersweet. You're absolutely right. That is the way that you would be describing it, but it is still a big win for India and a big win for Neeraj Chopra. Athletics is not something that gets us medals, because we had to wait so long for Neeraj to do this for us. And now that Neeraj has done it twice in a row, you can just imagine the kind of impact this will have. Even more people were watching this, this javelin throw final this time around. People who hadn't heard of javelin in 2021 when Neeraj won the gold medal. So kudos to Neeraj, kudos to his team, to his staff. They will be a little bit disappointed today because Neeraj is the kind of athlete who can actually dominate a sport, and he really wanted to dominate his sport. I remember.